Antarctica's meltdown, a catastrophic future? Imagine a world where iconic coastal cities vanish beneath the waves, where extreme weather becomes the norm, and where entire ecosystems collapse. This isn't a scene from a science fiction movie. It's a potential reality if Antarctica's ice were to melt. If all of Antarctica's ice were to suddenly melt, a staggering 200 to 230 feet, 60 to 70 meters, would be added to global sea levels. This isn't a gradual rise, it's a monumental shift that would reshape our world. Coastal cities and low-lying areas home to billions of people would be submerged. Imagine the displacement, the loss of homes, and the sheer scale of human suffering. Experts estimate that potentially up to 40% of the world's population could be displaced. Entire countries like Florida, the Netherlands, Bangladesh, and Denmark face the existential threat of disappearing entirely. These nations, with their rich histories and vibrant cultures, could be erased from the map. The UK and Uruguay would lose significant portions of their land, forever altering their coastlines. Australia would gain a large inland sea, dramatically changing its geography. The melting of Antarctica's ice wouldn't just raise sea levels, it would unleash a cascade of climate and temperature effects, destabilizing our planet's delicate balance. The loss of Antarctica's reflective ice surface would reduce the Earth's albedo, its ability to reflect sunlight back into space. This would lead to more intense heat waves worldwide, making many regions uninhabitable. The tropics, already facing extreme heat, could become virtually uninhabitable for people. The destabilization of the polar jet stream, a high-altitude wind current that influences weather patterns, could cause more extreme winters. Imagine prolonged periods of intense cold, blizzards, and disruptions to agriculture and infrastructure. The influx of fresh water from melting ice would dilute the oceans, affecting salinity and potentially disrupting thermohaline circulation. This global ocean current acts as a conveyor belt, distributing heat around the planet. Disrupting it could lead to unpredictable and potentially catastrophic climate shifts. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current, ACC, the world's strongest ocean current, is already showing signs of slowing down due to melting ice sheets, a worrying indicator of future disruptions. Changes in sea chemistry, such as pH levels and dissolved chemicals, would further impact marine ecosystems. These changes can affect the ability of marine organisms to build shells and skeletons, disrupting the entire food web. The ecological consequences of Antarctica's meltdown would be devastating, leading to habitat loss. Less sea ice would mean less krill, a tiny crustacean that forms the base of the Antarctic food web. Krill is a vital food source for whales, seals, penguins, and many other species. A decline in krill populations would have cascading effects throughout the entire ecosystem. The melting of Antarctica's ice would reveal a hidden landscape, transforming the continent from a single landmass into a collection of islands. Antarctica would reveal itself not as a single landmass, but as a collection of islands. This would dramatically alter the continent's geography and potentially expose new mineral resources. The economic impact of these changes would be far-reaching. Damage to crops due to extreme weather would negatively impact global food systems, leading to higher prices and crises for vulnerable populations. Food security would become an even greater challenge in a world already struggling with hunger. Coastal communities would face increased coastal flooding and storm surges. The combination of rising sea levels and more intense storms would make coastal areas increasingly vulnerable to damage and displacement. To fully grasp the gravity of the situation, it's crucial to understand the science behind the melting ice. Antarctica holds about 90% of the world's ice and about 70% of the world's fresh water. The West Antarctic ice sheet is particularly vulnerable because it sits on bedrock below sea level, making it susceptible to melting from warming ocean waters. Scientists use a variety of tools and techniques to monitor the ice sheet, including satellite imagery, ice cores, and computer models. These tools allow them to track changes in ice thickness, extent, and flow rate. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, has warned that the melting of Antarctica's ice sheet is one of the most significant threats posed by climate change. The IPCC's reports provide a comprehensive assessment of the science of climate change and its potential impacts. While the consequences of Antarctica's meltdown are dire, it's important to remember that we are not passive observers. Human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, are the primary driver of climate change and the melting of the ice sheet. The greenhouse gases released by burning fossil fuels trap heat in the atmosphere, causing global temperatures to rise. This warming is particularly pronounced in the polar regions, leading to the melting of ice sheets and glaciers. Deforestation, agriculture, and other human activities also contribute to climate change. Reducing our carbon footprint is essential to slowing down the rate of warming and mitigating the impacts of climate change. The potential consequences of Antarctica's meltdown are catastrophic, but it's not too late to act. We must take urgent and decisive action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and protect our planet. Individuals can make a difference by reducing their energy consumption, using public transportation, eating less meat, and supporting sustainable businesses. Collective action is also essential. Education and awareness are crucial to mobilizing action. By understanding the science of climate change and the potential impacts of Antarctica's meltdown, we can empower ourselves and others to take action. While the challenges are significant, there is reason for hope. The transition to a sustainable future is underway, with renewable energy technologies becoming increasingly affordable and accessible. Innovation and technological advancements are providing new solutions to climate change. From carbon capture technologies to sustainable agriculture practices, there are many promising developments that can help us reduce our carbon footprint. International cooperation is essential to addressing climate change. The Paris Agreement, a landmark international agreement, commits countries to reducing greenhouse gas emissions and working together to address climate change. Ultimately, addressing climate change and protecting Antarctica is a moral imperative. We have a responsibility to protect our planet for future generations. The decisions we make today will determine the future of our planet. By taking action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and protect Antarctica, we can create a more sustainable and equitable world for all. Let's work together to ensure that future generations can enjoy the beauty and wonder of Antarctica and the stability of our planet's climate. The time to act is now. The fate of Antarctica, and indeed the world, rests on our collective action. Share this video with your friends, family, and community to raise awareness and spark conversations.